Starts right now.
Well, there is hot, and then there is this weekend's forecast. More triple-digit heat adding to what has been an already scorcher of a summer. Adam Caskey here to give us a quick look at what is in store. Adam.
Yeah, and Myra, a scorcher of a summer. The hottest May on record, followed by the hottest June on record. And July, obviously, off to another hot start. Look at this, 101 for the high temperature today. That's the updated climate information for the day. Average being 94, the record high 105, so we were 4 degrees shy of the record. And you look across our area, Cotulla and Laredo were really the hot spots at 106. Del Rio not far behind with a high temperature of 105. As we go into the weekend, you're going to feel it even more. I think about 104, even just around San Antonio tomorrow afternoon. Sunday, a degree or so warmer. When you factor in the humidity, it's going to feel like it's close to 105 to 108 over the weekend. So that's something to keep in mind during the hottest part of the day in the afternoon. Record challenging heat this weekend. We'll take a look at what the record high temperatures are, which ones are likely to fall, and when this heat finally breaks and we could see temperatures back down below 100, along with when a few rain chances enter the picture. We'll see in a bit.
Bexar County and the city of San Antonio are opening cooling centers all over the city and county to help people get out of the heat. And you can find a list of locations on KSAT.com or the KSAT News app. Along with that, we have a list of other ways to help stay cool during, again, another hot weekend. And it's all on KSAT.com.
San Antonio police are investigating 2 separate cases where the bodies of 2 men were found on the northeast side. They died from apparent gunshot wounds, and the latest 2 were found this morning.
The other 2 found earlier this week, less than a block away. Camila Juarez joins us live from along Perrin Beidel Road near Wurzbach Parkway, where both murder investigations are ongoing. Camila?
Myra, John Paul, all 4 victims died of gunshot wounds, and police confirmed 3 out of the 4 victims were in their 50s, and they were all found less than a block away. San Antonio police say the 2 people found dead this morning appeared to be homeless. Their bodies were found with gunshot wounds just behind this fence, right next to a gas station on Perrin Beidel and Wurzbach. Earlier this week, on Tuesday, 2 other men were found dead. 1 person found inside the car, another person found outside the car. It's unclear if these men were experiencing homelessness, and we've done some checking, and we're told this area does have a homeless population. We talked to a business that offers day labor, and they tell us people experiencing homelessness do come to this area looking for work. And San Antonio police acknowledge that there are a lot of similarities in these 2 cases, but they say it's too early to say if they're linked. Live on the northeast side, Camila Juarez, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Camila. We'll make sure to keep you posted on what police find. And 2 people killed at a hospital. San Antonio police say a man shot and killed his wife, then turned the gun on himself inside Methodist Hospital this morning. Officers said they found the couple, who appear to be in their 80s, in a room a little before 10:30. Their names have not been released. We're told other patients and hospital staff were not in any danger and that no one heard any of the shooting. As for a motive, there's been no information on that. Police are still investigating. Methodist Hospital, in a statement, said that counseling will be provided for employees who need it.
New at 6, just 15 years old, a burglary suspect is dead in New Braunfels after leading police on a brief chase early this morning. Officers say they were called to the River Tree subdivision south of I-35 for a report of multiple car burglaries. This was just after 2 a.m. We're told the suspect was startled by a homeowner and jumped in his car and sped off. As he was leaving the subdivision, officers saw him and tried to pull him over, but they say the teenager sped towards Seguin along Highway 46 and tried to make the turn onto Mary Boulevard, but police say he was going too fast and crashed into a utility pole. The 15-year-old died there at the scene. His name has not been released.
The mayor of Uvalde is responding to the report of law enforcement's response at the Robb Elementary shooting. It was released by alert earlier this week. In a statement, Mayor Don McLaughlin says the report released by alert, quote, does not give a complete and accurate account about what happened at Robb Elementary. Mayor McLaughlin added no Uvalde police officer saw the gunman or had the chance to shoot him before he entered the school, saying the officer did see someone, but that it was a coach with children on the playground. You can read the full statement right now on KSAT.com.
Threats of force, inadequate training, and lack of appropriate policies. Those were just some of the findings in the investigation surrounding a horse patrol incident that happened last fall in Del Rio. The months-long investigation was done by the Customs and Border Protection Office of Professional Responsibility. That's after the U.S. Attorney declined to prosecute that case back in March. Well, now CBP Commissioner Chris Magnus is promising corrective actions to prevent what he's calling unprofessional and deeply offensive conduct. Alicia Barrera with that story.
These are the images that stirred controversy across the nation. Border Patrol agents on horseback in Del Rio twirling their split reins and confronting Haitian migrants as they crossed the Rio Grande.
Several mounted agents used force or the threat of force to drive migrants back into the Rio Grande River.
And while agents were initially accused of whipping migrants,
OPR found no evidence Border Patrol agents involved in this incident struck any person with their reins, intentionally or otherwise.
However, it was determined that at least one agent acted unprofessionally,
yelling denigrating and offensive comments regarding a migrant's national origin and gender, forcing his horse to narrowly maneuver around a small child on a slanted concrete ramp.
CBP Commissioner Chris Magnus says overlap of command from agencies also played a role in the chaos that ensued.
Horse Patrol unit personnel carried out an operation at the request of the Texas Department of Public Safety that directly conflicted with Border Patrol operational objectives.
So what happens to the 4 agents directly involved? Although they won't face criminal charges per the U.S. Attorney, CBP says the disciplinary process has not been finalized, but it can range from reprimands to termination. Reporting Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
Although at one point Horse Patrol was suspended, Commissioner Chris Magnus has said that he has every intention of maintaining the Horse Patrol units.
People in Kirby are under a boil water notice after the city's water supply was out for most of the day. Garrett Berger joins us from Kirby with the details and what residents need to know. Garrett, do we know what people can do if they still need water?
Well, the city had been distributing water at the City Hall. Now they moved here to True Vision Church over on Ackerman. You can see there's been a line of cars coming through here, started to subside. You can get 2 gallons of water every time you come through, and they've also got a limited number of food boxes available. Now, there were multiple issues that caused the city's water supply to go out. City manager said a motor burned up at its primary well, which took that offline, and an unreported leak drained the stored water that it had as backup. And its backup well was already offline for electrical repairs. All of that adding up to no water in the city of Kirby, causing problems for people who live and work here, including Kirby Quality Cleaners, which had to call customers and tell them their clothes would be delayed until Monday.
We have some customers, that are upset because they needed their clothes tonight, but for the most part, half of them are okay with it, because we can't do, it's not in our hands, what happened, so.
The city manager told us shortly after 4 that the city had gotten its backup well back online. But we checked with a neighbor over here a few minutes ago, and they still don't have water actually coming out of their faucet yet. Now, once the water supply is back, because of the low pressure that was that the system was under, Kirby water users have to boil any water they want to use for consumption. That means anything from drinking, cooking, making ice, or brushing your teeth. Now, the city manager says they are going to keep this distribution site running throughout the night. As I mentioned, you can come through, get 2 gallons on every time you pass through. Live in Kirby, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
All right, thank you, Garrett. We have something to make you aware of, a big mess out on the roads right now. This is the camera here at Loop 410 at State Highway 151. We're looking at the westbound lanes of 410 coming towards us there. You can see there's a lot of flashing lights, emergency vehicles. Looks like some sort of accident on the inside or the outer lane there that's basically got 410 down to a parking lot. So something certainly to keep in mind, a big tie-up. Barely traffic moving on the lanes opposite of where this wreck is located. So something to be aware of. 410 at State Highway 151. Many South Texas rivers are running low during this drought and heat wave. The Frio, one of the more popular river destinations, but it recently recorded a 0 flow rate. We wanted to check that out for ourselves. RJ Marquez made the trip to Garner State Park to check out the conditions along the Frio.
It's becoming a familiar sight at many local rivers. Low water levels leading to rocky patches and long stretches where water should be flowing.
We've had a dry season and the rains are not coming around quite as often.
Brett Rimkus has worked at Garner State Park for more than 20 years. He took us along the swimming area of the Frio River.
So we're still getting flow here. There are springs that go up and down this river that fill it in as it goes along the way.
On Friday, the U.S. Geological Survey recorded a river flow at Concan of 0.5 cubic feet per second, which the survey reports as an all-time low for this day of the year. Rimkus believes there's still water running under the rocks, but the flow is not ideal for tubers.
Ideal tubing conditions is probably 50 to 75, even up to 100 cubic feet per second. Right now, you're looking at an area of the dam which is flowing still 25%.
And as you can see, there is still water out here at the Frio River. Directly to the right of me, you can see many families are still enjoying the day swimming out here, but water levels are obviously lower than in previous years. Now to the left of me, you can see where the extensive drought has affected many stretches of the Frio River. This area right here has extremely low water levels. The Nueces County River Authority recently tested the Frio at 3 sites, and despite low water flow, officials say the river is safe to swim in and bacteria levels are currently not a concern.
We got a good rain last week of anywhere from 1 to 4 inches in our area, in the surrounding area, so it did help us out a lot for midsummer.
Rimkus says one good downpour will help get things back to normal. Park officials have not closed any areas along the Frio River due to the drought and water flow being the lowest in more than 10 years.
So we're not as bad as in 2011. There's lots of these places that have deep water in them. They're deep pockets, the water's still flowing.
Reporting from Concan, RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
Rain certainly needed to help out local water levels, but just to cool things off a bit, that would be nice.
We need a break, a water break.
Water break, yeah. We'll need a lot of water breaks through the weekend, especially if you're outside sweating, not just the water, but get those electrolytes in you as well. A little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar helps out if you're sweating a lot. Keep that in mind. 101 degrees. That's the new high temperature for the day, and that's our current reading. The dew point is 64. It feels like it's 3 degrees warmer than the actual air temperature. Helotes right now 99, Divine 101, Hondo 102, Comfort 100 degrees, Gonzales 102, Seguin 100. You get the idea. Triple digits pretty much across the board. A little bit breezy this evening. After sunset and through about midnight, we'll have a southeasterly wind at 25. That'll help provide a little bit of relief, but it's still going to be warm. I mean, 98 at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 90 degrees, and then tomorrow morning, upper 70s near 80. We're going to talk about some rain chances that exist even in parts of this weekend. We'll even go through the futurecast, time that out, see what the odds are of your neighborhood getting hit. We'll see you in just a bit.
Welcome back. I'm Stefania Jimenez, and here's what we're working on for you tonight on the Night Beat. First, it was Uvalde's mayor. Now more people are reacting to a report that says officers in Uvalde missed multiple chances to stop the shooter from attacking Robb Elementary. We're going to speak with an expert who trains for active shooter situations, and he says the people that he's trained spoke to him about what led to the hesitation that day. The outside factors that he says may have played a role in all of this. Plus, we're also taking a peek into the past. The Tasty Trail that's going to get you there. It's right here in San Antonio. We'll see you for these stories and more tonight on the Night Beat.
Thank you, Stefania. Let's take a look outside with Sky 12. Check this out. This is Schlitterbahn here in New Braunfels. Man, what a place to be.
It's definitely summer. Look at how packed this park is right now.
No matter what people are doing this weekend, plans include trying to stay cool.
I just know I'd be at the top of the line for the water slide.
Water park, garden hose, whatever you got. Hopefully it's going to work.
Kiddie pool. Just
Yes.
a bucket of water to dump on your head.
Yeah,
Bring back the ice bucket challenge.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good idea.
That's right.
Bring it back.
What happened to the old ice bucket challenge?
Right, we could use it this summer. You know what I do actually for our kids on the swim team and even my mountain bikers that I coach? You know those garden sprayers that you pump and you spray? It's supposed to be used for chemicals.
Yes.
I don't use chemicals, but ice water.
There
feels
you go.
great. And
Like how
it's a mist.
You
like how
spritz
you
them as they
threw
ride
in.
by?
Yeah, well, mostly when they're done. Yeah. But and the volunteers that help out at the swim meets,
I was hoping you'd have a big sign along the trail and your spritzer.
My spritzer. It's a mister is what I do. I mist it. And then I spritz the back of their neck too. That's a good spot to get that brainstem right there. Cool that off a bit.
Coach Caskey.
Coach
That is the
Caskey.
most Caskey comment.
It's true,
Gotta get
though.
the brainstem.
I took 9 hours of first aid for my mountain bike and coaching.
Hey,
all
there
right.
you go.
Yeah, and a lot of it has to do with heat. Record challenging heat into the weekend. High temperatures around 105, and there is a slight chance of rain. I mean, don't get your hopes up for, your area, but if you're extremely lucky, you could see one of these pop-up showers. We'll talk about which day we have better chances coming right up. But you look at the state, Abilene 105, Lubbock 100, Amarillo 94. There are some showers in the northern panhandle, dropping their temps a little bit. Del Rio at 103, San Antonio right now 101, Cotulla at 107 right now. So 107 in Cotulla. We're feeling the heat everywhere. I mean, for the most part, we're triple digits. Obviously, a few exceptions as you get up into the hill country. Canyon Lake officially at 95, 98, Bulverde and Comfort right now at 99, Los Maples at 96. But by and large, we're 100 degrees. And when you factor in the humidity, this is what it feels like out there. Feels like it's about 2 to 3 degrees warmer than the actual air temperature. Even more than that in Bulverde, feels like 104. Feels like 104 Rio Medina. Divine Castroville feels like 102. Converse feels like 101. So the bit of humidity that's in the air will have an impact on how it feels through the weekend and early next week. So the actual air temperature is what we're expecting on the bottom line here. The top line indicates the feels like temperature. So tomorrow, for example, 104 is what we're forecasting. But when you factor in the humidity for a few hours in the afternoon, feeling like it's closer to 107. Sunday, forecasting 105 for the air temperature. You calculate the heat index, or the feels like, and we're predicting about 108 for a few hours in the afternoon. But notice how those temperatures do fall off a bit by the middle of next week. By next Wednesday, we could even be below 100 degrees again, which we haven't seen since late June. Now, here's the situation. Here's why. The upper level heat high, it's pressing down on us today, and through the weekend, it's going to be almost directly overhead pressing down on us. But by the middle of next week, that heat high slides over the Four Corners region of the U.S. So we're talking Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, and Arizona. That's where it's going to be centered. And this northerly flow, aloft, will also open the door for a few little disturbances that could kickstart a few showers. Hey, right now we have a little bit of activity, northern Edwards County, just a few highly isolated and brief pop-up showers. But let's fast forward to tomorrow afternoon, 3-4 p.m. Can't rule out just a few of those little dots on the radar screen here and there across our area, especially in the hill country and north of San Antonio. Then we get into Sunday. By and large, another sunny day, like most of tomorrow's going to be. But by Sunday afternoon, slightly better odds. We go from 10% chance tomorrow to a 20% chance on Sunday. I know, not exactly reassuring, but at least there's a little bit of hope for a brief cooling shower. I mean, the moisture is not going to make a difference. It's insignificant agriculturally speaking and in terms of the drought, but there will be some 10 to 20% chances sprinkled in over the coming days. 79 in the morning at 7 a.m. tomorrow. By noon, already 96. 10% chance in the afternoon, and we're making it above 100 degrees for high temperatures, even 107, 108 closer to the Rio Grande. And you look ahead at the extended forecast, middle of next week, just a little bit below 100 again.
Some relief. Something. Thanks, Adam.
And I got to throw a shout out to our producer, Mr. Bill Taylor. Said, Caskey, why do you have to rain on our rain chances?
I just don't want you to get your hopes up.
That's the only rain we're going to get.
Real.
So
Keeping it real.
There you go.
Appreciate that, Caskey. All right, Larry, it's a good time to be a sports fan. We got some NBA Summer League action on the court right now, and then we got football not too far away.
Yeah, not too far away. And the Spurs Summer League team was in action. They just wrapped up their game against the Cleveland Cavaliers. They would have liked to have won the game. They didn't. It's truly about just getting these young guys ready. And Primo and Wesley certainly had nice games for the Silver and Black. And Ramon Richards is back in town. He's working out with some local athletes. Coming up.
they go pro, then I feel like I've gone pro again.
Breckenridge alum Ramon Richards is back in the 210, developing athletes in big board sports. The Spurs tipped off Las Vegas play this afternoon against the Cavaliers. First quarter, Josh Primo goes 3 for the Spurs' first lead, 5-4. The Cavs answered, though, with an 8-0 run. Rookie Blake Wesley now drives for a reverse layup, scoring 2 of his 7 first-quarter points, but the Cavs led 27-22 after 1. Second quarter, Wesley from 3, and the Spurs lead 33-28, part of a 15-1 run by San Antonio. Blake had a great first half, scoring 15 points to go with 3 assists, 2 rebounds, and 1 steal, but Cleveland led 48-45 at halftime. Third quarter, Cleveland scored the first 7 points, taking a 10-point advantage, and it's a timeout. Spurs. San Antonio struggled in the quarter, trailing by as many as 22 points, but they hit back-to-back threes in the final minute and trailed 78-62 entering the fourth quarter. Less than 7 minutes to go, Wesley was subbed out and he went to the bench where they worked on his lower right leg. Video replay didn't show much. He did return to the game to finish, and it looks like he just cramped up. Primo would score 8 straight points for the Spurs via 2 threes and a floater to get them within 12, 92-80, but San Antonio falls 99-90. Primo and Wesley led the Spurs with 20 points apiece. So next up for the Silver and Black, the Golden State Warriors, Sunday 6:30 p.m. from the Thomas and Mack Center. The Greg Popovich coaching tree continues to extend its branches in the NBA. After hiring of Will Hardy in Utah, there are now 8 head coaches in the league who coached or played under Pop here in San Antonio. That's 8 out of 30 teams, or 26.7% of the league. That's amazing. Before game 1 of the NBA Finals, Commissioner Adam Silver talked about Pop's legacy, saying, quote, "Thank you, Greg Popovich. He practically runs an academy there in San Antonio for future coaches, and not just coaches, but team executives. He's done a fantastic job," end quote. So here's a look at Pop's coaching tree in the NBA. We have Boston head coach Ime Udoka, Memphis floor boss Taylor Jenkins, Phoenix head coach Monty Williams, and Golden State head coach Steve Kerr. You have Doc Rivers out in Philadelphia. Mike Budenholzer is the head coach of the Bucks. Will Hardy is a first-time head coach now with the Utah Jazz, and Mike Brown is now in Sacramento. Earlier this week, we caught up with Ramon Richards at Brandeis High School, where the former NFL defensive back was developing some future stars. The Breckenridge great now runs R7 Sports Performance, and his goal is to develop each and every athlete to become the best they can. When we stopped by, he was teaching functional movement and speed with an emphasis on how to move efficiently and eliminate wasted movement.
I've seen a lot. I've been in a lot of football programs. I've been around some of the greatest trainers, some of the greatest developers. So I want to pass that knowledge on to some of these young guys.
Ramon leads by example, and you can tell he's having a blast while doing it. He's smiling and just having a good time with his athletes, and he's not just a football trainer.
I do all training sports. I have some soccer girls, some volleyball girls, I have some baseball kids. My main thing is I want to go back to the NFL, but through them. I want to go play international soccer through some of my soccer girls and things like that. So I want to play pro in every level, but through everyone else.
Ramon says for more information, you can check out his website at r7go.com. He's a cool dude, and he's a good trainer, it looks like, too.
That is pretty cool.
Right?
It's a great way to stay in shape. You're training everybody, you might as well just do the workouts yourself while you're doing it. Lead by example, as you mentioned.
Yep.
All right, thanks for that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, our KSAT Q&A with Dr. Ruth Berggren is up next. Cases are climbing once again. The risk factor here in San Antonio deemed worsening. So she is back. Dr. Ruth Berggren with the Long School of Medicine at UT Health San Antonio, infectious disease specialist. We're always happy to have you here, even though we are talking about climbing COVID cases. So we know that there's this new variant out there, BA.5. What do we need to know about the characteristics of this version of COVID?
So BA.5 is a variation of Omicron. It's now making up at least 50% of all the COVID cases in the United States. What has happened is the virus has accumulated more mutations in the spike protein. There's at least 30 different mutations. These mutations are expected. This is how viruses evolve. And what they're doing is they're making the virus more infectious, but also, luckily for us, they don't seem to be making this virus more lethal. So we're seeing a lot more infections. There's a real surge going on. And while hospitalization rates are slowly going up, we're not being overwhelmed by hospitalizations because the disease seems to be milder.
What does this mean for variations going forward? Do we fear that at some point it does become more deadly or lethal, or are they just going to continue trying to be evading our vaccines?
Right. Well, the way that natural selection works is that as long as viruses are replicating, they're always going to be selecting for the more advantageous mutations, which means that any mutation that makes them more infectious, that mutation is going to stick. That's not necessarily true for lethality. Not every set of mutations is going to make something more lethal, but it could happen. And so we don't want to see that happen. And as long as the virus is replicating a lot, meaning lots of cases are happening, then we run the risk of worse mutations coming down the pipeline. So we have a real vested interest in trying to put the brakes on this pandemic. And it's the stuff we've been talking about since the beginning, right? And it really, really is time to put the masks back on in San Antonio. And by this, I mean, if you are in an indoor public place, if you're 2 years old or older, you should have a really good, well-fitted mask on, at a minimum one of those surgical masks, or ideally a KN95 or an N95 mask when you're in public. And if you're not in public, you should also consider masking if you're taking care of a family member who has COVID, and that person should be masked when they're around you as well. So that all these measures that we've been talking about in the past, they apply now. And you just don't want to get a COVID infection. You're not likely to die from this BA.5 variant. However, you can get long COVID from it, and there's a lot of consequences to long COVID that we're just beginning to unpack.
Let's talk about boosters, because it's been a minute since a lot of people got their latest booster. So what is the guidance currently on when we may need another round?
Okay, so the data from Bexar County are showing us that while we have almost 1.5 million people that are fully vaccinated, we have a lot of people that haven't gotten boosted. And so if you have not had a booster shot, meaning your third shot, you should go out and get one. Now is the time. It's going to raise your antibody levels. Those antibody levels will reduce your risk of having a symptomatic infection, and they'll greatly reduce your risk of having to go to the hospital. Now, who should get a booster beyond that third dose? It would be anybody over the age of 40. So there's a lot of folks that have that are eligible right now, today, to get a fourth dose of the existing COVID vaccine to protect themselves better. There could be no better time than right now during this surge to go get your fourth shot. Some people have been asking me about elderly folks, the 88-year-olds and so forth in our community that maybe got their fourth dose quite a long time ago, and since it's been 6 months since they had that dose, should they go run out and get another one? We don't have guidance for that at this time. We are looking forward to hearing something in the fall about an Omicron-specific booster, and everybody should pay close attention to that and get out there and get in line for that one as soon as it becomes available to us. We haven't heard anything just yet, but we do think that this is in the pipeline. And then there's the little kids. Do you want to talk about them?
Absolutely.
You don't need us here.
Absolutely.
You don't need us here at all.
This
Yes.
is your show now.
We absolutely want to talk about the opposite end of the spectrum now. We know that kids 6 months and up can now get vaccinated. And of course, parents had a lot of questions, still have a lot of questions about that. So what have we seen with those youngsters who have been vaccinated so far?
Right. So I was just reading recently that over 300,000 little kids, 6 months and up, under the age of 5, have had the COVID vaccine, and we're not seeing any danger signals. So people should feel good about that. If you've been hesitating, if you've been on the fence as a parent about whether your child who's under 5 years old would really benefit from the vaccine, the good news is that we're not seeing any danger signals for this vaccine in that age group. And we have reason to believe that as our data get bigger and we get more numbers, that we're going to start to see similar protective effects as we've seen in older people with respect to protecting the little kids, especially the high-risk ones, from getting a serious infection, for getting complications like croup, or from protection from needing to go to the hospital. So the pediatricians that I work with are getting appointments to have their own under 5-year-olds vaccinated.
And so a lot of parents, I'm sure, with school just around the corner, believe it or not, thinking about the timetable there. Reminder, it's 3 shots for the little kids. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, I recommend that you don't wait until the last minute before school starts to run out and get the vaccine, because you need to get the series, and there's weeks in between each shot. So it takes a while to get completely protected. So the sooner you start, the better off you are.
Some of us may wait for school supplies and haircuts at the last minute, but maybe not vaccines.
Exactly, not vaccines. And with all these vaccines available to us, the young members of our community, what is the timeline now for quarantine? We've been through the pandemic for so long that it's constantly changed. Where are we at now?
So quarantine, just to remind everybody what we're talking about, quarantine is when you've been exposed, but you're not sick. If you're sick, then you isolate. So if you've been exposed to the virus, you don't have to stay home, but you do have to wear a mask for 10 days, a good mask, and you have to monitor your symptoms. If you don't get any symptoms, you can get a test at day 6. Don't get it before day 6 because it won't be as accurate. And of course, if you do develop symptoms while you're monitoring yourself, you should then stay home and then seek a test. And you can do a rapid antigen test, or you can go and get a PCR test at one of our several free test sites that are in the city. Now, don't just sit around if you have a diagnosis of COVID-19. If your test is positive, you need treatment. And here's a new development that you may not be aware of. It has now been ruled that pharmacists are allowed to prescribe the outpatient medication Paxlovid for patients.
Right.
Yeah, so you do have to show the pharmacist evidence that you don't have serious kidney or liver disease. That means bring your most recent lab tests and show the pharmacist. But they will look at that. They'll look at your other medicines and make sure there's no dangerous drug-drug interactions, and they can prescribe Paxlovid. Now,
Good to know. Dr. Ruth Berggren, I'm sorry we have run out of time, and you were always so full of information. But I know this is not the last time you will be with us.
We appreciate the knowledge. We appreciate it.
Take care. We'll see you next time.
Sure thing.
We'll be right back. It's not exactly a hunger strike, but the penguins at the Japanese aquarium are making it known they are not happy with the cheaper fish they're being fed. The Hakone Aquarium is about an hour from Tokyo and home to 32,000 animals. The struggling economy there has led to the aquarium doing what it can to cut costs. The penguins and otters typically eat a fish called aji.
But according to the aquarium, the price of aji has spiked 30% in the last year. So the aquarium switched to a cheaper alternative, saba, or mackerel. However, as you can tell by the animals' reaction, mackerel have not been well received very well. The aquarium says it is accommodating the penguins and otters by mixing the mackerel with aji, and they are tolerating it.
I get those same looks at home sometimes when I, give the little kids a new food. What is this? Ugh.
We all know that feeling.
Yeah,
yes,
I've never seen anything I didn't like.
Right.
Put it in front of me, I can stomach it.
I don't know if any of us really want to stomach these temperatures, though.
Well, you have to.
I know.
Unfortunately, yes, you do. We're just going to have to endure it through this weekend as well when temperatures are up there around 105. Right now, we're at 101 officially at the airport. By 8 o'clock, 98. 10 o'clock, still 90 degrees. The AC is going to be working all night long, that's for sure. Tomorrow morning, we'll start the day in the upper 70s, but then we crank up the heat even more. We'll talk about the afternoon temperatures and even the heat index and how that's going to play a role in our weather. And a few cooling showers should develop here and there over the weekend. We'll break that down for you in just a bit.
Hot temperatures headed our way. I mean, they're already here, right, of course. But you said, what did you say? Cooling showers?
A few cooling showers.
Okay. I'm not getting my hopes up.
You're about to rain.
No, don't get your hopes too high. Don't get your hopes too high. But I do think we'll see a few little showers popping up on the radar screen here and there over the next few afternoons. So if you're one of the real lucky ones, you may just get one of those showers to cool you off for a little bit. But high temperatures up to about 104, 105 over the weekend, and that's record challenging territory. So Sunday, we're expecting 105. That'd be a new record by 2 degrees. On Monday, we're expecting 104, and that would tie the existing record high temperatures. May was the hottest on record here in town. June was the hottest on record. And July is obviously off to a very hot start. We've been triple digits every day so far this July, already a week into it. And right now, right around 100, New Braunfels 101. Hondo 102, Pleasanton 104, officially here in San Antonio 101, but Cotulla up to 107 for the reading right now at Del Rio at 103. You factor in the bit of humidity that we have in the air, and it makes it feel like it's about 3 or 4 degrees warmer than the air temperature. So Gonzales, a heat index of 106, Cotulla, a heat index of 109. That's the feels like temperature. And we're going to see a very similar situation over the weekend. So we do have that heat advisory in effect, something to keep in mind. It's just the heat advisory, another way of saying it's going to be very hot with those heat indices between 105 and 109. So tomorrow morning, temperatures mostly in the upper 70s, near 80 degrees along the Rio Grande, but by the afternoon, we crank up the heat. We're expecting 108 in Cotulla, Del Rio 106, even in the hill country, low 100. So Kerrville 101, Canyon Lake 102, Timberwood Park 101. You get to Elmendorf, Lavernia, even west side of town, Alamo Ranch area, 104 for high temperatures. Hondo and Castroville, a degree warmer. Factor in the humidity through the weekend, and during the hottest part of the day, in the afternoon, say for about a 4-hour stretch, about 107 is what it should feel like in San Antonio on Saturday. On Sunday, feeling like it's up to about 108. And there could be some slightly higher heat index values in a few locations and a few neighborhoods for just some of those hours during the hottest part of the day over the weekend. And even on into Monday, a similar situation. I know we've been talking about the weekend, but it's going to last all the way into Monday. And one reason I point that out is because a lot of you work outdoors, and it's going to be a big factor as you head back to work on Monday. Right now, this is what we're seeing on the radar screen. Edwards County, just east of Rock Springs. A few downpours, a little bit of lightning and thunder there. That's the rare exception, and I think we'll see very similar situation, not exactly right here, but in terms of overall coverage, very limited, but a few showers out there during the next couple of afternoons. Here's our futurecast, and I don't think it exactly is going to nail the location of where these are going to pop up, you know, in parts of Kendall County and Comal County. But by tomorrow afternoon, say 2, 3 p.m., some of those puffy cumulus clouds will probably drop a few showers here and there very briefly to give some folks a little cooling breeze, especially in the hill country. But even then, we're only looking at a 10 to 20% chance. On Sunday, I think we'll have slightly better coverage. Still, by and large, notice 10 a.m. sunny, by and large a sunny day. But into the afternoon, we give it that 20% chance because I do think we'll just have slightly better conditions, better instability in the air, and it's going to get hot enough where we'll just get the air to rise and rise enough to keep going and generate a few extra downpours and brief, most likely non-severe thunderstorms here and there. Futurecast shows it mainly around Highway 90 west of town. They could really be anywhere across the map. So that's what we're looking for this weekend, a few of those cooling showers. But overall, we're just talking 10 to 20% chances in the days ahead, even into next week. Temperatures, though, next week by Wednesday, back a little below 100, at least the way it looks right now, about 99 on Wednesday and Thursday. It's something.
That's what I was going to say. It is indeed something. Thanks, Adam.
At least we have a couple 99s this week.
Yeah.
Last week, I think, was it hundreds across the board?
We'll cling to that 99 in case you missed it coming up next. Here's today's In Case You Missed It.
It is your Friday, July 8th.
2 deaths inside a San Antonio hospital believed to be the result of a murder-suicide involving an elderly man and his wife.
This happened inside Methodist Hospital in the medical center. San Antonio police say a hospital employee found the couple in one of the hospital rooms this morning. Both appeared to be in their 80s and died from their gunshot wounds.
Detectives believe the husband, again, a male in his late 80s, at some point in the morning, unknown what time, shot his wife, who who was a patient there at the hospital and then turned the gun on himself.
And Kirby residents woke up to an unwelcome surprise today as their faucets ran dry. An issue with the main water well cut off water for the entire city for much of the day.
The city manager told us a motor burned up in the primary well, and an unreported leak in the system drained all of the backup water the city had in storage. And the city's backup well, which would normally have taken over, was already down for electrical repairs.
Starting Sunday, the United States Postal Service is going to be raising the price of their stamps. A first-class Mail Forever stamp will cost you 60 cents now. USPS saying inflation and increased operating expenses are the reason for the price changes.
The pilot is being applauded for making an emergency landing on a North Carolina highway this week. The pilot landing on a 4-lane highway in Swain County. No one was injured. It's unclear the circumstances surrounding the flight. The Swain County Sheriff's Office applauding, though, the pilot's skills on Facebook. The Sheriff, Curtis Cochran, saying the pilot landed safely, keeping his composure, and you can see, somehow, missing all those cars.
Here's your day planner for tomorrow. 75 at 7 a.m. by noon, already 96. And then 5 o'clock, 104. Stay cool, stay hydrated. Just that 10% chance of a brief shower here and there. Saturday and Sunday afternoons. Minimal breeze as well. Not much of a wind over the weekend.
Thanks for watching the news at 6.
Thanks, guys. Stay cool, stay hydrated.